Love Beyond the Divide, a tale of courage, sacrifice, and unyielding devotion. The marketplace was alive with sound, the calls of traders hawking their wares, the chatter of women haggling over prices, and the occasional laugh of children darting through the crowd. Adanna moved through it all like a thread weaving a tapestry, her arms laden with handwoven baskets she had spent weeks crafting. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind, "A good basket can feed us for days, Adanna. Every weave, every knot, must hold your best effort." She paused at a stall, scanning the crowd for potential buyers. That was when she saw him. Kofi stood near the spice vendor, trying to console a little boy who had just spilled a pile of bright red peppers onto the ground. Unlike the other passers-by, who either ignored or scolded the boy, Kofi knelt down, gently helping him gather the runaway peppers. Something about him caught her attention, perhaps it was his easy smile or the way he treated the boy with kindness. Before she could stop herself, she was walking over. "Looks like you've got quite the mess on your hands," she said, bending down to help. "Quick hands make light work," he replied with a grin, meeting her gaze. His voice was warm, with a playful undertone that made her smile despite herself. Their hands brushed briefly as they picked up the last of the peppers. Adanna felt her cheeks warm, and she quickly looked away. "I'm Kofi," he said, standing and dusting off his hands. "My name is Adanna," she said, blushing. "Well, Adanna, if your baskets are as sturdy as your helping hands, you must be quite the craftswoman," he said, gesturing to the load she carried. She laughed. "Careful, flattery might get you roped into buying one." "That doesn't sound so bad," he replied, and for a moment, the bustling market seemed to fade into the background. Over the weeks that followed, their paths seemed to cross more often. Kofi would linger in the marketplace, his eyes searching for Adanna among the colorful stalls. She, in turn, found herself looking forward to his visits, her heart fluttering whenever she saw him approaching. But Kofi wasn't just another boy from the village. Unknown to Adanna, he came from one of the wealthiest families in the region. His father, Chief Argument, owned a fleet of fishing vessels and a grand estate perched on the hill overlooking the town. Yet, Kofi had grown disillusioned with the trappings of his privileged life. He preferred the simple joys of the marketplace to the stiff formality of his family's dinner table. One evening, as they sat by the shore watching the sun dip below the horizon, Kofi confessed the truth. "I'm not just a fisherman's son," he said, his voice tinged with regret. "My family, they own the fleet." Adanna's heart sank. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I was afraid it would change things," he admitted. "That you'd see me differently." She looked at him, her expression unreadable. "It doesn't change how I feel about you," she said softly. "But your family, will they accept me?" Kofi hesitated. "They don't know about us yet. But I don't care what they think. I'll fight for us, Adanna." When Kofi finally told his parents about Adanna, the response was swift and brutal. "You cannot be serious," Chief Argument thundered, slamming his hand on the table. "You're throwing away your future for a girl who sells baskets." Kofi's mother, Lady Argument, tried a gentler approach. "Kofi, we're not saying she's a bad person. But you have responsibilities, a legacy to uphold. You need someone who can stand beside you in our world." Their words stung, but Kofi refused to back down. "Adanna is the most genuine, hardworking person I've ever met. If you can't see her worth, then you don't see mine either." Meanwhile, Adanna faced her own battles. Her mother was wary of Kofi's intentions, echoing the fears of many in their community. "These rich boys don't marry girls like us," she warned. "They toy with heart and live when it suits them." But Adanna's love for Kofi was unshakable. "He's not like that, Mama. He's different," she insisted. Kofi moved out of the family estate, renting a modest room near the marketplace. It was a far cry from the comfort he had known, but he didn't care. Adanna was his world now. The town buzzed with gossip. Some admired his defiance, others thought him foolish. But Kofi and Adanna paid no mind. They found joy in the simplest things, shared meals of freshly caught fish, evenings spent weaving baskets together, and stolen kisses under the moonlit sky. their perseverance began to soften even the hardest hearts. Adanna's mother saw Kofi's sincerity in the way he cared for her daughter. Lady Argumen, though still hesitant, began to realize that her son's happiness lay not in wealth but in love. One evening, Chief Argumen appeared at Kofi's door, his expression somber. "You've proven me wrong, son," he said, his voice heavy with emotion. "If this is the life you choose, then who am I to stand in your way? You have my blessing." The wedding was a joyous affair, held on the beach where Kofi and Adanna had first dreamed of a life together. The townsfolk came together, rich and poor alike, to celebrate their union. Adanna wore a gown she had woven herself, its intricate patterns symbolizing resilience and unity. Kofi stood proudly beside her, his love shining brighter than the setting sun. As they exchanged vows, Chief Argumen and Lady Argumen watched with tearful eyes, their hands clasped tightly together. Adanna's mother beamed with pride, her earlier doubts replaced with gratitude. The years that followed were filled with both challenges and triumphs. Adanna's baskets became renowned across the region, a testament to her skill and determination. Kofi expanded his family's fishing business, ensuring fair treatment for all workers. Together, they built a home that was not just a house, but a sanctuary of love and hope. And though life was not always easy, their love remained a beacon, proving that when two hearts are united, they can overcome even the deepest divides.